Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. I know how busy you are, so I really appreciate you taking your time to spend a few minutes with us this morning or this afternoon, depending on where you are. We call this our Learn and Earn meeting, and there are really two ways you can benefit from it. First, we are going to send you a $50 credit, which you can use on any order. But more importantly, as you know, successful selling involves having the right tools available at the right time. I promise over the next 20 minutes to show you some unique programs and ideas that can help differentiate you from your competitor. And ultimately, that is how both of us will learn from today. So please enjoy. Just a couple of housekeeping things. We will be sending you a full marketing and sample kit after the meeting. I'll tell you a little bit more about that later. We're going to keep the meeting under 30 minutes, probably be about 20. But I'll be happy to extend as long as needed for any questions that you have, so don't worry about that. If you do have a question, in the lower right-hand corner of your screen, you'll see a little chat window. Just type it in there. Those questions will sort of stack up, and then at the end of the meeting, I'll be happy to answer any of them and stay as long as needed. We're going to record the session as well, and we'll send you a link to not only the recording, but also a PDF of the slides in case you would like to refer to them later or share them with a colleague perhaps that couldn't make it today. I'll put my contact information up on the screen for just a second. No need to write it down, though. I'll put it up again at the end. Also, I wanted to introduce Larry Rollo, our Vice President of Sales, who is also joining the meeting today, and some of you may know him. I'll also put his information up at the end of the meeting as well. I'm going to turn my camera off for a few minutes so that we can kind of focus on the slides and the presentation, but I'll join you back on the screen here in just a few minutes. Just a little bit about our company. Footprints USA has been the #1 supplier of flip-flops since 2005. After we opened a domestic factory here. Some of you may remember that in the old days, the only source for custom sandals was a supplier who imported them from Asia. So they took almost 3 months for delivery, and the minimums were quite high. So this limited sales to a very small niche, and we believed that the market was much larger if we could only deliver in a week or two. Turns out that we were right. We have increased the market 400% since we opened, and flip-flops have become much more of a mainstream product in our industry. Today, I think most distributors do recognize us for sandals, but what many don't know is that now we produce so much more than that. We have a full line of accessories, including belts, neckties, headwear, even printed apparel. But more importantly, we offer a couple of truly unique programs that you won't see anywhere else in the industry. So if I can accomplish just one thing today, I hope to show you some ideas and selling programs that you didn't even know existed. We believe one of our biggest strengths is our location. By manufacturing in North America, we can offer a much faster turnaround on items that really are highly customized. And perhaps even more importantly, we have better controls over quality, safety, and social compliance, which, as you know, is becoming more critical all the time. But as they say, it's all about location. And we are fortunate to have what we think is the best location in the world. Our operation actually straddles the border between California and Mexico. Production is 5 miles south in Mexicali, and our warehouse is just a mile north on the California side. So our trucks go back and forth across the border every day, and everything ships from the U.S. side in Calexico. For those of you who are not familiar, and by the way, if any of you are out this way, we would love to have you visit. This is about an hour east of San Diego. Mexicali has a very deep culture of manufacturing and some of the best engineering universities in the country, so we're blessed with a terrific group of young, educated people who really do take pride in their work. And at the same time, our costs are quite stable, so that allows us to offer attractive pricing. Our sales and admin offices, of course, are in the U.S. and located in Signal Hill, California, which is just outside of Long Beach. We are ranked 5-star on ASI and A+ on Sage, and a winner of the ASI Spirit Award. So I believe you can rely on us for the best in customer service, in communication, quality, and delivering your orders on time and making sure that they're correct. Just a couple things about flip-flops. They have become a mainstream product over the last 20 years. Global sales now over $20 billion. And large companies are sponsoring things like Flip-Flop Fridays and National Flip-Flop Days, which we just had last month in June. The flip-flop icon itself, just the shape of a flip-flop, has even come to represent something in our culture, which is relaxation, which is one of the reasons you see it so much, and flip-flops are so popular for corporate events and team building, where a relaxed environment is very important. One of the nice things also about this category is the order size. Flip-flop orders are generally larger, more than double the industry average. In terms of client billing dollars, our orders average around $2,000, and I don't know how that compares to your orders, but as an industry average, it's about double. Flip-flops were actually brought here by our soldiers returning from Japan after World War II. They were made out of straw and called zoris. Many people still call them zoris today. We started calling them flip-flops because of the sound they make when you walk in them. But flip-flops have been around since the Middle Ages, and there is even evidence that the courtesans in those days would actually carve the words "follow me" into the bottom of their soles, which would leave an imprint in the dirt so their clients could find them. So there you go, the world's first promotional product. But this, of course, was also the genesis of our modern-day talking footprint, which leaves your logo in the sand with every step. This feature is especially popular for corporate events, and we have companies that continue to reorder year after year for their event because it's so popular with the guests. Normal delivery is only 15 days with our local production, and we even have rush service available. There are no die charges for simple designs, so it's very affordable. Only $2 a pair on a V to add this feature to most of our styles. We have over 30 styles, but actually most all of them can be made from just a few variations in materials. It's really simple. There are really only three parts: an insole, which is where your foot sits, the outsole, which is the part that hits the ground, and a strap. All three of these can be logoed, and depending on the style, we offer imprinting, embroidery, jacquard weaving, and of course our die-cut talking footprint on the outsole. There are a number of soles to choose from a single layer to a 2 or 3 layer, which allows you to introduce more colors like racing stripes or the talking footprint. Also, you can add an arch support for a higher end look and feel. Most of our straps are also interchangeable, so you can go with either vinyl, which is the most cost effective, or natural rubber, or fabric, depending on the client. Colors and sizes, very easy. You'll find these client-safe PDFs on our website, and they include recommended size breakdowns down at the bottom. So that's something that you can forward right along to your client to make it very easy. In terms of basic styles, we start out with our Capistrano, for example, in the $4 to $5 range on a C. The limitation to that style is that it can only be printed on the strap, but it's a very, very nice sandal, so it's used for a lot of higher volume events like trade shows, walks and races, festivals, those kinds of things. Our most popular overall sandal is our Laguna line, which again, you can interchange the straps from vinyl, rubber, fabric, and so forth. It runs in the $8 to $10 range. You can print on the sole and or the strap. It's used for a myriad of different types of events, from trips and cruises to school fundraising, clubs, military, lots and lots of different uses for the Laguna line. In the premium style area, we have our Malibu, for example. It runs $10 to $12 on a C. We always say this one only looks expensive. And the reason for that is that, as you can see, it has the wider strap. It has more of the executive feel and look. So it's used for a lot of sales conferences and trips and things like that. On the higher end, we have, for example, our Del Mar. Now, the Del Mar is top of the line. This is a sandal that you would probably see in a retail store for $30 to $40. It has a heavy-duty strap, has a heavy-duty sole, has a built-in arch support. It's really a very nice sandal. And still only $18 to $20 on a C, so it's still a good value. I love this example too because it shows how using the right tool can make the difference often. This was one of those jobs where the client was bidding out to multiple distributors, which of course is not the ideal situation, but it does happen. The bid was for 1,000 pairs and the client wanted a talking footprint. So we got calls from 5 or 6 different distributors. In most cases, the call would go something like this. What is the least expensive style you have with a talking footprint? In the end, it was this virtual sample that helped get the order, and that was from the distributor who differentiated themselves by showing the highest price sandal. It's the highest price sandal that anyone presented. So regardless of budget, don't underestimate your client's taste level. Show them the best, and then maybe include a couple lower options, because as you know, budgets have a way of expanding when clients see something they really like. So sell the best and use our virtual samples. They really do work. This was a $25,000 order and very profitable for both of us. So again, use our virtual sample tools. They're free and they really, really do work. We also have specialty styles like slides, for example, that you can wear with or without socks, a built-in bottle opener. We have a folding flip-flop, which is very popular for women's events, bamboo, full color, lots of different specialty styles. Also, custom jobs are always welcome, and this is one of my favorites. This is one of Unilever's brands called Axe, which is a maker of shower gel, and they were introducing a new gel and were targeting 18 to 24-year-olds. So we worked with the distributor and their ad agency to design this custom set of flip-flops that interlocks at the toe, which supported their campaign, which was called Toe to Toe. They distributed 20,000 pairs along with a sample of the gel on college campuses, and it was a tremendous success. So this was a 6-figure order for the distributor, and we were able to produce it in just about 4 weeks. So these are the kinds of things that we can do with North American manufacturing. Woven Essentials is really my favorite thing to talk about because it is so unique and it has so many different applications and is relatively unknown. We start by custom weaving jacquard fabric, and we step and repeat the logo every 2 inches like you see here. Then we cut and sew the fabric to cotton or nylon webbing, and we use it to make almost 60 different items, from flip-flops to belts to sunglass holders, wallets, key rings, and a lot more. But the best part is that since we are using the same fabric on everything, your client pays just one setup and then can mix and match within the collection with no minimum for any item. The only minimum is a combined total of 50 pieces, and that's low enough by itself. But for example, they could order a dozen pairs of flip-flops, maybe a few fedoras, some key rings, any combination of 50 pieces. The other nice thing is quality. This program really is an extension of our collegiate licensing program. So everything is the same retail quality that we sell in college bookstores across the country. And if any of you sell to the resort market, we also have this retail packaging and labeling available if you need it. All kinds of clients love this collection, especially for programs and events. But there are a lot of applications like clubs and schools, online stores. It's great for any client who would like to mix and match items without minimums or setups. We also offer full color sublimation or woven in logos depending on the situation. And either way, it's the same quality jacquard fabric. For programs, we also have a co-op package where we actually stock your fabric in the factory, and that allows us to offer even better pricing and faster turnaround on each release. So this makes Woven Essentials perfect for any kind of program selling. It also works for school fundraising because the school doesn't get stuck with any unsold merchandise. We simply create a custom order form like you see here, and the school pre-sells and then places the order after the sale. And since they collect when they take the orders, there's no upfront investment. We also pre-sort and label the order by student to make the delivery easy. So it's really turnkey and very popular with schools and coaches. With our team building packages, you can also add printed tees, hoodies, sweats, and shorts to create what we call head-to-toe packages. These are great because you can deal with just one vendor, place just one purchase order, and get everything delivered together. Everything looks cohesive, and again, you pay only one setup for everything. This program also offers a fantastic virtual sample program where you can upload your logo online 24/7 and select 4 or 5 different items. We'll create a sheet like this one to show your client the concept, and we'll include a client-safe version of the catalog with no pricing in it so they can see all of the other items that they could mix in. Believe me, this program works. We track the closing rate each month, and I can tell you that it is a very high percentage of virtuals that turn to orders. So I hope you'll do us both a favor and try Woven Essentials. In 2009, we bought this little company called Promo Foam, which produces some really cool items made of EVA foam, which is the same foam we use in some of our sandals. For example, we make one of the nicest floatable key rings in the industry with a nautical theme. It's great for boating, swimming, and any theme around water. But my favorite is this puzzle, which some of you may have seen before, but after we bought the company, we improved it. It's called the Crazy Cube, the squishy foam puzzle. It's a flat piece of foam that comes in 6 pieces that form a cube. What's so great about it is that you can print multiple message on different sides of the cube, all for the price of one imprint. So for clients trying to reinforce different benefits or concepts, it's just great. We also expanded the front surface to include a banner area for a larger imprint at the top, and wrapped it in a full color sleeve so you can really get into a lot of detail in the promotion when you need to. This makes it great for insurance companies, financial, medical, 911, anywhere the client needs to communicate multiple concepts and detail in their message. We also offer a full line of custom-made neckties, bow ties, and scarves in either 100% silk or polyester. We have wet dyed or woven in depending on situation. We also offer the fastest turnaround in the industry on these at 4 to 5 weeks. So these items are trending up in the last couple of years, so please check out the case history brochure that you will receive in the sample and marketing kit because it's got some great stories about that. I would be surprised if some of you didn't have some opportunities for this. If you ever need flags or banners, we offer a complete selection of those, from a small hand-waving flag to a car flag to large 15 to 20-foot outdoor banners. And again, we have some very competitive pricing and quick turnaround, so I hope you'll consider us next time you have an application for flags or banners. I do see we have at least one question, but before I get to that, I want to thank you again for joining us today. I hope you've seen at least a couple of ideas you can use, and that you'll begin to think of us as more than just a sandal company. Whatever your project, we're here to help in any way we can, so please let us know what we can do. Also, I want to mention the marketing and sample kit. For those of you who registered and are watching this live, we already have your mailing address, and your package will automatically go out within a day or two. If you have an order pending and would like to use it now, just let your customer service rep know and they can get it applied. For those of you who may be watching the recorded version of this, we will not have your address, so please just email either me or Larry with that and we'll make it happen. I'll put both of those emails back up in just a minute. The kit includes a few samples and a request form you can use to order more. Reasonable samples are always free. Also, look for the series of case history brochures like the one you see in the lower left. They have some really quick read stories about how these products have been successfully used, and best of all, they were written from the perspective of your client, so they make great leave behinds and mailing pieces. If you want additional copies, they are also listed in that sample request form, so just let us know. And now for questions here. Let's see. Dan has asked, do you carry Havaiana flip-flops? For those of you who are not familiar with Havaianas, that's a retail brand. They are sold in primarily retail stores. Very trendy brand. They come from Brazil. They're made of natural rubber. They have a natural rubber strap. And we do have one that is, fair to say, a knockoff of the Havaiana. It is called the Rio, and the item number, Dan, is L115R. I've got your email address here, though. At the end of the meeting, I'll be happy to send you the link for that. I don't see any other questions, so I'm going to put our contact information back up here on the screen. I want to thank you very, very much for attending today. Again, I know how busy you are, so I appreciate it. and remind you that we are here to help in any way we can to facilitate business. So let Larry or me know anytime that we can do anything. I'll get the recording off to you as well as a PDF of these slides in case you want to share it with somebody. If you have a group of 5 or 6 people maybe in your office and you'd like us to have one of these short meetings, perhaps to coincide with one of your sales meetings, we're happy to do that and dedicate it just to you. So stay in touch with us. Let us know whatever we can do to help you. We're here to help, and I thank you again. Have a great afternoon.